My parents said the house could only hold one daughter, so my sister and I took turns being her. Ren was born 13 months after me. Same dark hair, same gap in the front teeth, close enough in size that by the time we were 6, nobody outside the house could reliably tell us apart. My mother's explanation never changed in 15 years. They had planned for one child, they had budgeted for one child, and they had one child's worth of patience. What they got was 2, so they corrected it. The girl on duty was Cora. Cora had a birth certificate, a social security number, a bedroom with a window, and a seat in a classroom at Fairhaven Elementary, and later Fairhaven High. The other girl had the room over the garage and was not permitted downstairs before 7 at night. We switched at the end of every school year. The last night of June, both of us stood in the kitchen while my father went through the handover list: the bedroom, the clothes, the retainer, the friendships. My mother kissed the outgoing daughter on the top of the head and said, "See you next summer, sweetheart." And then for 12 months she did not use my name because I didn't have one. The coaching was the hardest part. Before every switch, we'd spend 2 weeks in the garage room with the notebooks. We kept notebooks from the time I was 9. Every teacher's first name, which girls had fallen out with which, that Mr. Petrosky called on you if you looked at the window, what we'd said to Danica about her parents' divorce, and what we'd promised not to repeat. Ren got 7 stitches in her left eyebrow the year she was Cora, went over the handlebars on Ridgeway Street. So for the following 12 months, I drew the scar on every single morning with a brown eyeliner pencil, and I told the story of the crash to people who'd been there, and not one person ever questioned it. When I got my period first, I explained tampons through the garage door so she'd be ready before her turn. She'd come up after they went to bed, and we'd sit on the floor with our backs against the wall and whisper. She brought me library books. I told her which lies I'd left running. We had a promise, and we said it out loud probably 400 times over 10 years. Someday we'd both be real at the same time. I got a middle ear infection the year I was 14 and invisible. I asked for a doctor. My mother said Cora had already had her physical that year, and there was one file and one insurance card, and there was nothing to discuss. It went on for 11 weeks. I still can't hear high frequencies out of that ear. The thing that broke it open was a driver's permit. I was 16 and on duty. My father took me to the licensing office and I handed over the birth certificate, and while the clerk typed, I looked at it properly for the first time in my life. One certificate, one child, filed in 2007. Ren was born in 2008. There was nothing. She'd never been registered. Not a delayed filing, not a lost copy. My parents had simply never gone. She had no number, no record, no birth. In the eyes of the state of Ohio, my sister had never happened. And the system wasn't a system at all. It was 2 girls sharing the only child my parents had ever bothered to make official. I told her that night in the garage room and she didn't cry. She just said quietly, "So it was always going to be me." 6 weeks later, my mother announced the permanent solution. Ren would go live with my father's cousin in Bullhead City after that June. No school, no paperwork to sort out since there wasn't any. She'd help with the cousin's kids. My mother said it like she was solving a scheduling conflict. And then she said the part I've never gotten out of my head. "It's cleaner. One of you was always going to have to stop." We had 4 months. Here's what saved us. Ren was a better archivist than she was a liar. 11 notebooks, 10 years of dates, switches, coaching sessions, doctor visits denied, the eyebrow scar, the ear, photographs where the scar was drawn on, and photographs where it wasn't. I took all of it to the school librarian, Ms. Ackerley, who had told me twice in 2 different years that Cora seemed like 2 different students and had been gently ignored both times. She read for an hour and 40 minutes without saying anything. Then she picked up her phone. Delayed registration of birth is a real process. It takes affidavits, school and medical evidence, and a hearing in front of a probate judge. Ren's took 14 months. She was 19 when the certificate came. Her own name on it, her own date. We took a picture of her holding it in the parking lot, and neither of us could talk for a while. Both of us. Real. At the same time.